Almost there. Trying to get set up. Yo, yo, yo. What's good, everybody? Let me see. Try and get this thing going. I hope y'all can hear me over there. There we go. Y'all gonna hear the baby stuff in the background. But it is what it is, though. What's good? See a couple people in here with me. So yeah, we definitely gonna jump into some charts. I'm just gonna go down my watch list and chart some stuff out for y'all guys. If anybody got any questions about anything I chart, you could definitely ask and I will answer as best as I can. To those that's new over here, what's up? It's the options boss. I talk about the stock market and options trading, obviously, most of the time. You got any stocks that you want me to chart, you drop the stock in the comments. I will chart the stock out. If you're not familiar with charting, you can say that as well, and I will give you my best answers as best as I can about things we look for when we chart, what this charting show us, etc., etc. You know, the whole rundown. So, with that being said, I got my phone in my hand. I am going to go over to my watch list right now, and we're going to start this thing up. Let's see here where we at. Boom, right here. And yeah, if y'all, like I said, if y'all got questions, just let me know, and I will jump in. This morning, pre-market, we are definitely red right now. We will see if we hold that or if we bounce. Not quite sure. One of the first stocks that I will look to chart up this morning will be Afro. And for those of you that don't know, I always say I like to break down my watch list in the sectors. So you'll notice a lot of these first few stocks I'll say will be finance related stocks, banks, and things of that nature. And then, we'll divvy off into different areas. So that being said, good morning, Lisa. And yes, I will check that stock out right after Afro. Not a problem. So looking at Afro, I'll start off on the daily. I'll make my computer screen a little bit bigger if I can for y'all. There we go. I hope y'all see that good. Somebody let me know in the comments if you see that pretty good or not. But this is ad from stock right here. I tried to make the tried to zoom in a bit for y'all. So I see this is the daily, and we've been kind of dumping down. Look like we hit a bottom right here, and then we got this green candle, which this green candle, this will be considered an outside candle, guys. This will be considered a 3 bar. And what a 3 candle is basically it's also called an engulfing candle. There's a few names for it, but essentially it has a lower low and a higher high than a previous candle. So we got that 3 candle, which kind of let us know that we were reversing right here at the bottom. And after we reverse, we sort of been consolidating ever since. And we're consolidating right underneath this orangish line, which on my chart, that orange line is the 20-day EMA. So right now, that 20-day EMA is good resistance. If for whatever reason we were to bust through that orange line, which that looks like it's around $26. If we were to bust through that orange line, that orange resistance, it could be an opportunity for us to push up and make some money on calls right here on Afrom. However, since we gapped up, we haven't done anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to look at the low of these previous few candles, which you got, let's see here, the low of this was 24.46. The low before that was 22.82. The low before that was 22.20. And the low before that was 21.21. So what that tells me is that if we were to lose the low of this last candle right here, this 21.21 candle, puts could work here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my notifications for those of you that trade with me, or excuse me, for those of you that are here with me, not trade with me. You can trade with me too as well, but that's a whole nother topic. For those of you that are here with me, I chart a lot of my things on FinViz. So this is FinViz app. So what I do after I find areas that I like to enter on a trade, I'll create an alert for it. So this way, if I'm not watching it, FinViz will give me an alert. So I like calls above 26 a share. So we're going to put that there. And I like puts. The puts are below 21.21 was the low of that last candle. So we're just going to say below 21. So if I'm trading Afram at any point above 26, I will get calls. Below 21, I will get puts. Anything in between, I don't want to trade it, and neither do you, because that's pretty much just a little consolidation area. Um, that's just how I like to do things. You'll see a whole bunch of alerts right here for a whole bunch of different stocks that I'm waiting for to bust out. And that's kind of how I do things. So hopefully that was helpful to you guys to see that. And now I'm going to get over here and I see GGPI by Lisa Hampton. So I'm going to check out GGPI for you. Let's see what that thing looked like this morning. All right, this is the daily GGPI. Again, I'm going to zoom in real quick so y'all can see it. So again, kind of sort of looks like the same setup. We got that bottom right here, and then we got that 3 candle, which let us know we were reversing. Now, the difference is this one, we did move up a bit, but it's looking like we've been giving that back. Since we moved up, red, and then we had this little doji candle right here, which looked like that was probably red as well. So that very last candle on GGPI, oh, that's this morning. That's why that's a little doji. However, we'll go back to yesterday's candle. Excuse me. There we go. So this candle right here, opened at 1036, got as high as 1045, got as low as 1021, and it closed at 1030. So what I'm noticing again, like I said, since we had that big green candle 2 days prior, we've been pulling back. So right now in pre-market, at least according to FinViz, right now in pre-market, this thing is trading. It got as low as 1023, and right now it's around 1029. So definitely bearish right here since the gap up. So what I'm looking at is, let me see. We said the low of this candle was 1021, and the low of that would be lower than the previous candle. So if I was interested here, what I will be looking at is this 1021 area. If we drop below 1021, I would definitely be interested in puts right here. And if I were looking for calls, you would have to probably take out the high of this candle, which is 1066. Now, full disclaimer, GGPI is not a stock I would trade a lot. And the reason why is because it's a tight range. And what I mean by tight range is, for example, this stock, the high and the low. So 1066 to 1029. You're talking about, a 37-cent move right there. The next candle, 1057 to 1030, 27-cent move right there. This candle, 1045 to 1021, 24-cent move. So essentially what's going to happen, and I'm talking about options trading. If you buying shares, whole different conversation. Even that I still wouldn't be super excited about unless it pays a great dividend. But just specifically talking about options trading, when you have a stock that moves that small amount, it's hard to make money. Like, you could be the best options trader in the world. You can be the best at picking direction. But if you picking a stock that's only going to move 20 something cent, even if you pick the right direction, theta is going to kick your butt anyway. So it's almost like, what's the point of trading this stock? As far as options go. So, like, if you notice, what I just looked at, Afram, I think, and you might have noticed the difference on Afram was like, $2 and change on a move. That's a pretty all right move considering the stock is 20 something dollars. That would be equivalent to this stock moving like $1. If it moved like $1 and some change at $10, that's a pretty nice move. But moving 20 something cent, it don't really do nothing for me. However, if you like it, if you want to trade it, above 1067 is what I would look for calls, and below 1021 is where I would look for puts. I'm not going to alert this particular one just because it's not a lot of movement in it. But I do hope that gave you some clarity into what you would look for in that stock. Uh, Logan asked for DWAC and Apple, so we're going to check out those real quick. Let's see what we got here. DWAC. Pulling that up. And again, on a daily, I'm just going to zoom in on y'all real quick. This is my daily, right? Yeah, this is my daily. All right. Zoom in for y'all real quick on a daily. And as I look, I could probably make that a little bigger. There you go. So we kind of pulled back. A lot of stocks been doing that. Looked like we hit our near-term bottom, and then we moved and started gapping up. Again, we having trouble really getting solidly through that 20-day EMA. And for a lot of you who watch and who don't use the EMAs, this is part of the reason why I use the EMA, is because a lot of times it'll tell you where support and resistance is. So I see that, let's see here, this morning, well, not this morning, yesterday, we opened at 44.84. We got as high as 46.75. We got as low as 43.81, and we closed at 46.21. So close towards the top yesterday of that move. Now this morning, we are down to 45.69 in pre-market, and we got as high as 47.18 this morning. So what I would be looking for is I would look to take out this 46.75. Anything above that 46.75 is probably going to be a bullish move. If we get back to that 47 area, that's definitely an area for calls. And this is a stock that when it gets rolling, it doesn't do it every day, but when it gets rolling, it can move, you know, uh, $4, $5, $6 easy, even at this price point. So this is a nice stock to trade with a lot of good movement in it if you catch it at the right time. However, if this thing was to lose, see, the low of that was 43.81. If this thing was to lose 43, we could start to retest the downside again. So I will be looking at calls above 46. I'll be looking at calls above 47, and I'll be looking at puts below 43 on this. And because of that, we're going to alert it. Above 47 calls, below 43 puts. And because I got to say it with everything I do, almost everything I do every time I remember, none of this is financial advice, guys. This is just what I look for when I trade, things that have worked for me in the past and things that will, God willing, work for me going forward. So it's all fun, but at the same time, if it makes somebody some money, that's what's up. Shout me out. And if that's just the disclaimer that I got to throw out there. But I also see Apple is here, so we're going to check out Apple. But top of the top. Oh, thank you, Lisa. I'm glad you checked me out this morning. Uh, SBLK, Orpheus Brown. Good morning. I will definitely check that out after I check out Apple. And Bud Law, good morning. If I didn't say good morning, my bad, bro. Glad y'all checking me out this morning. Get a couple of charts in while we can. So this is Apple's chart on the daily. And guys, also, just because I want to be clear, typically when I'm charting, I will look at the daily, I will look at the weekly, and I will look at the monthly. And I do that to get what I call, or not what I call, what is called multiple time frame analysis. Multiple time frame analysis is your friend. And basically what that does is it will confirm one way or another what you just saw on a daily chart. So for example, we just looked at DWAC, and I told you it looked like it's hit its bottom. So then if I look at the weekly, and the weekly also tell me that, hey, it hit its bottom, that'll make me more bullish on that particular stock. Or if I look at the monthly, and the monthly also tells me, hey, we hit its bottom, then that's another reason why I will be bullish on that particular stock. Sometimes you'll get to the weekly and the monthly, and it'll tell you something different than a daily. And in that case, that's a stock that I might set some alerts for it, but I'm not as anxious to jump into, for example. So multiple time frames, if you charting by yourself, is definitely what you want to do. That said, I'm only doing a daily right now because I only got a quick little 45 minutes before I do have to get off and get ready for the trade day and my paid options group chat, et cetera, et cetera. So now looking at Apple, we see the long doji at the very bottom, and that was pretty much the Bulls telling the Bears, "Hey guys, we went as go as we going to go. We got to fight this thing up." And then we had the nice big bull candle coming up. Then we had another doji. It was the inside, and then we had the little gap up, and we're not seeming like we're handling that gap up. We opened at 148.86. We got as high as 149.77. We got as low as 146.68, and we closed at 149.24. So it closed towards the upside, but it was a huge move on Apple's part, and Apple looked like they had some trouble with that one pre-market. It is down in pre-market, and what I'll be looking for to jump into puts is I will look for this to lose that 146 area, that 146.68 area. Below that, puts could definitely work. Um, it do look like it got a tad bit of support. I'm not even gonna really call it that 145 area. So yeah, below 146 50, you could definitely look for puts right there and see if Apple is going to retest those lows. And honestly, if I was going above, I'm not interested in Apple calls until it break through 150. And if you guys want to know why, I'll try to grab a line real quick, just to kind of show you guys what I'm saying. So this that line I just put on my screen is around about 150, a little bit over. When you're doing charts and drawing lines, the lines don't got to be 100% perfect, as long as you are as accurate as possible and you know what you're trying to explain. So, for example, if you draw a line and you can go to another chart and come back, and 20 minutes later, an hour later, 2 hours later, 3 days later, you still know what that line meant, then it's fine. So, in this case, this line right here shows me, if we're going all the way across the chart, it shows me that Apple through the months has had trouble with this 150 area. Lots of trouble in July, lots of trouble in August. We did break through in late August and September. Then once we gave it back, we had some trouble with it in October. We broke through a little bit, pulled back, broke through a little bit, pulled back, and then we finally really took off in November. So now that we're here and we lost that area, I see we hit it yesterday and we had some trouble getting through. So that's why I said I would not be interested in Apple calls unless it broke 150. Above 150, Apple calls could work. Below 146.50, puts could work. And because of that, I'm going to alert that both ways. 150 and 146.50 for puts. And guys, feel free to take notes anytime I do these, especially those of you that is not in my paid options group chat, because you could find some things that may make you some money. And those of you that's in my paid options group chat, still take notes because if you jump in a trade on your own, I've had a couple of guys. My guy Logan that's on here this morning, he'll shoot me a screenshot like, "Yo, boss, I did this one on my own, through whatever you showed me," and those plays be making money for him. I'll be looking like, "Damn, I wish I jumped in that thing." So shout out to the people that in the paid options group chat that do learn and are able to jump in their own thing and make a couple pennies too. Now, my homie Orpheus Brown said SBLK, so we're gonna check that out. And Bud Law said MELI. I just noticed that. Actually, we're gonna check out MELI first. I'm sorry, but that was chronologically first. I just skipped right over it. MELI, pulling it up on the daily, and you'll see, like most stocks again, fell down, got that green candle, try to signal that near term bottom. And again, like a lot of stocks, you'll notice once we kind of gap up a little bit, it's been a lot of consolidation, which is what we've been doing here on MELI. So looking at MELI, I do notice that unlike some of the other stocks, after the gap up, it still made a higher high. So you got the gap up here, then you got the higher high there, and then you got the higher high yesterday. So that is at least a good sign for MELI, unlike some of the stocks that were consolidating. Um I got a crying baby, y'all about to hear. We a family here, y'all. So y'all gonna get ready to see or hear one of y'all little nieces, y'all YouTube nieces in the background. But yeah, we got MELI open at 85 excuse me, 815.01. MELI got as high as 835 32. MELI got as low as 772.78 and it closed at 834.88. So it was a nice move and it definitely finished towards the top. Now what I will be looking for here is a very easy call. Anything above 835.50 is definitely a bullish move on MELI right now. And if we were to reverse at all, I would need this lower I would need this lower than that 767 area. Now, another thing for the people that are here, I want you guys to know what I like to do is what you would consider a momentum trader. I like to trade momentum. So, with that being the case, that's why you always see me wanting to jump in at the top of the candle or the bottom of the candle. Because what I like to do is I like to take good momentum and make good money off of that, or I like to take bad momentum and make good money off of that. Whether it's a call or a put, either way, I like to trade that momentum. So that's why you always hear me talk about the top and the bottom of a candle. So like I said, 835 calls and 767 puts, and I'm gonna alert Melly because it's a stock that's nice to trade when you can. It is one that will give you some good movement. 835, 767, and we're gonna alert that right there. And then we're going to check out SBLK. So my apologies for that, but SBLK, we'll pull that up right now. All right. This is the daily. And I see a whole lot of, this stock looks perfectly like the stock market. And what I mean is, there's not a lot of continuity here. It's a whole lot of green, red, green, red, green, red out of the candles. But nevertheless, look like we lost the 50-day. I think that's the 50-day on these on the gold candles. Yeah, lost the 50-day EMA. And once we lost the 50-day EMA, it looked like that was a signal for this thing to bounce. So lost it, bounced, lost again, bounced, and kind of been taken off ever since. Yesterday was a doji candle, and that doji candle lets me know that we were indecisive. So this stock, it ran a good amount. It's only at 57, but in this market, the way it is, the bulls were not very convinced to go in even harder, and the bears may have taken over. I also noticed that this is sort of near the top, around this 32 area, so it could have been that as well. But let's check out that candle. Looking at that candle, it opened at 31.65. It got as high as 32.44. It got as low as 31.26, and it closed at 31.81. So it closed up, but I won't say towards the top. That being the case, what I will be looking for here is I will be looking for calls above that 32.50 area. Above 32.50, you can maybe catch this thing moving. Again, trading momentum. So you want that momentum pushing the stock up, then you jump in the calls. Above 32.50, this thing could work right here. It does have room to the upside. The RSI is not smoking hot at all on this particular stock. However, it do look like it's near 52-week highs. So what I would definitely suggest is if this thing started to fall below 31, puts could definitely work and you can wind up testing that downside again. And I probably like that a little bit more, even though there is room to the upside. But I just know how this market is set up now. So 32.50 for calls, below 31 for puts, and you could definitely make some money out of this position going forward. 32.50 and 31. And we're gonna set that up just like that. Where we at? Boom. If we don't have more stocks requested, I'm breaking up. I'm sorry about that. What about now? Do you hear me better now, Lisa? Is anyone having any trouble hearing me right now? If so, let me know. I see Lisa said I'm breaking up. Orpheus, glad I can help, bro. If you guys got more stocks, definitely drop it in the comments. If not, I'm going to continue to go through my watch list and just tell you guys what stocks that I'm looking at today on my own. No problem, Logan. That's what I'm here for, bro. Try to help us all see what the heck is going on. Baby, let daddy do some work this morning. AMD. I'm gonna check out AMD and then I'm gonna check out Square next. Let's see how AMD look, guys. Here you go. Here you go. All right. So looking at AMD look like we got a nice little double bottom here, guys. And if you're not familiar with a double bottom, I'll basically break that down to you. Basically, mean the stock hit the same, roughly the same type of area two times, and it bounced off the area the first time, and it bounced off the area the second time. So if you look in here at the end of April, boom, you'll see we hit this area and we consolidate. And then what happened? We push up a little bit, right? And after we push up, what do? We fall back down and hit that same area and consolidate. And then what we do? We take off. That, my friends, is called a double bottom. And for the double bottom, that's a super bullish thing that you're going to see. And for it to really be a legitimate double bottom, it has to take off over where it started at, which it started. We were consolidating around this 97 area, I guess, when it dumped, and then it went up. Then it came back down to this 85 area, which is where it went the first time, and then it took off and it went above that 97 area. I think we traded yesterday over 100, so that's definitely a good sign. Double bottom is a very bullish thing if you guys trade stocks or options. Now this candle opened at 97.88, got as high as 103.20, got as low as 97.54, and closed at 102.47. So it definitely closed towards the top. And what you would be looking for right here, very easy call on this one because it's a gap up candle. Very easy call. Above 103.20, you want calls. I would just call that 103.50. Above 103.50, I would want calls right here. And below 97.50, I want puts to see if maybe the double bottom ran its course, which could be a thing, unfortunately, because this stock market is so choppy. But the key is, again, when we chart these things out, you don't want to see, the thing is, you don't want to guess what the market is going to do. You don't want to guess, hey, we're going to be bullish today. You don't want to guess, hey, we're going to be bearish today. What you want to do is you want to see what the market is going to do and react accordingly to it. So that's why I typically will set an alert for a call and a put on a particular company. This way, if the market is bullish, I'm prepared. And if the market is bearish, I'm prepared. And the more you can prepare before the day actually start, like, the day don't starts at 9:30 East time. So the more you can prepare before the day start, the more when the day start, you don't got to be on pins and needles wondering what's going to happen. You'll be game ready either way. So again, 103.50, 97.50, boom, easy alerts. But that's a sweet double bottom, and that's the type of thing that if you were interested in going long at all, AMD will be in a good position to possibly take off with that double bottom set up that way. Let's get rid of both of those. Boom. AMD is there. I'm going to check out Square, and then I'm going to check out RCL. Good morning, bus driver uppercut. Welcome in. Let's check that out. Square right quick. Now, looking at Square, guys. Again, we always starting off on the daily. Baby, baby, baby. And if you're looking at Square on the daily, you will see we had stock pull back. And then after we had the pullback, what we had the green candle to signal the bottom, and then we went up and we got consolidation. And that's what the stock's been doing. Most of these charts, you'll see. MELI was the one that after it went up, it actually still kept going higher. This one was consolidating a bit. So looking at this one, we'll see. Let's see. This is yesterday's candle. That's what we was looking at. 82.50 it opened at. It got as high as 85.56. It got as low as 78.88. And it closed at 84.79. So it did close towards the top on what was not a huge green day, but nevertheless a green day for Square. So what we will be looking for, I believe that was the highest recent high. Let me see. 85.23 and 85.56. Yeah. So that was the highest recent high. So what I would be looking for out of Square is I like to see Square above 86. Above 86, you could definitely see this thing possibly going up again. And the good thing about Square is you got some resistance in this in this area right here. This low 90s area. And other than that, if you can get through that, you definitely got a chance to gap up to 100. So and that resistance right there is not strong resistance, by the way. But nevertheless, if you catch it at the right time, it's definitely got a potential to gap up to 100. Above 86 definitely calls could work. If we were looking for puts right here, I would like to see it lose that 79, that 78.50 area. So 78.50 will work for puts, 86 for calls, and that would set us up on Square to make us some money. On what I say, 78.50, I think I said puts. So we're gonna drop that there. Boom. And then what else we got? We got RCL. I was asked about. Check out RCL. Any stocks y'all got, guys? I got about another 15 minutes. I'm gonna be here with y'all. You can drop those stocks in the comments. I will chart your stock out, tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, etc. And of course, give you the magic numbers to make us some money, which is why we trade to make money, right? So yeah, just drop those stocks. And if y'all don't have stocks, it's cool. I'll check out stocks for my watch list that I'm looking at to prepare myself for today and prepare my options group chat and my tier 3 channels for today. And guys, if you're not in my tier 3 channel membership, you definitely should be. Tier 3, we do a whole lot of we do a whole lot of chart work. Look at charts, talk about charts. I'll pop out random questions. Hey guys, what do you think I like about this chart, or what do you think I don't like about this? Where's support? Where's resistance? Just a way to kind of keep y'all on y'all toes and help y'all learn. So, tier 3 is good for that type of thing. If you're interested in this, you definitely will be interested in tier 3. But nevertheless, RCL, that big ugly dump that everything had in early May. My gosh. And then we got to that bottom, and then we had the green reversal. And then since then, we've had some real weak moves. Couple weak moves. We'll see what today does. Um, this candle right here opened at 63.10, got as high as 64.46, got as low as 61.90, and closed at 63.92. So it closed, I guess you could say, towards the top, but it was such a small move by RCL. RCL is a stock that usually moves pretty good, but for whatever reason, we didn't get real strong movement out of RCL yesterday. Um, Also, is right near that psych number. 65 is a psych number. I mean, usually anything that ends in a 0 or a 5 is a psych number, typically for human beings. And what I mean by that is, like, a lot of humans will be like, hey, I'm a buy, or, at 65, or I'm going to sell at 65, just because it's a nice round number. So whenever I see we near that number or those type of numbers, a lot of times I try to remind myself, if I'm going to get in a call or a put, make sure it's above or below that number. So right here, I automatically know calls above 65 got a chance to do something on RCL. Not a lot of resistance right here recently. You probably got some around this 67 area, a little bit, and then otherwise you probably got some around this 69 area. Otherwise, you got another psych number at 70. So there's that. But calls above 65 could work here. If this thing wasn't a bottom, if we think this was if it was just a bull trap, then you can prepare yourself for puts by looking at below 61.90. So I will call that 61.50. Below 61.50, maybe you jump in there and you make some money on puts. And I will alert that, because RCL usually is a nice mover, even though obviously yesterday didn't have a super nice day as far as the spread between the high and the low. So I'll alert that. and now I got that on my list. And that was the last one I see, so I'm going to drop some from my list. We just checked out Square. We're going to check out Goldman Sachs, guys. Goldman Sachs made a nice move here from his recent bottoms, and I was kind of upset I didn't catch it, but I didn't. But I want to be prepared if it makes a move back down or if it makes a move up even further. Goldman Sachs is one of the banks that I do like to trade. Those are my options group chat. No, we trade Goldman Sachs a lot. So I was definitely upset when I seen him make that move from 290 something to 310, and I got none of that action. I'm like, man, that's a couple pennies right there I missed. But nevertheless, like I said, you hit that bottom here May 12th around 293.90. And then we had this little gap up yesterday that took us up to 314.32. So I saw a $21 move out of a stock. I mean, not in one day, but a $21 move over the course of 3 days. That's still a nice move, $7 a day, essentially, over a stock that I like to trade, and I didn't get none of it. I saw that and I'm like, ugh. But for the next move, I know I need this thing above 314.50. And that will put us right at the 315 area, which actually is not you know what? I'm gonna call that 315 because I'm not even gonna play around with that psych number. Above 315, I would jump into Goldman Sachs calls if that's was what it's going to be. However, if this thing was to lose 308.13, I would jump into puts and see if it was maybe a retest of the downside. And by the way, I do think we hit our near term bottom, guys, on the stock market in general, but I don't think that it's a guarantee. I think that we hit our near term bottom, but I don't think that it's a guarantee. I do think down a little further than or a lot further than what we have. Um, Depending on what's happening with inflation, depending on if the Fed ever try to get hawkish, and do a 75-point raise, things like that definitely turn this into not the bottom. But as of now, I moderately think that we hit our bottom. So we'll see about that. Um But Lord want us to check out LCID. I am going to check out LCID. And if somebody else got another, I'll check out one more from y'all and then we'll probably cut it off there. If not, I'll do one more on my own and then we'll dip out. But LCID, looking at that, you'll see with the zoom in, hit our bottom. Once we hit our bottom, we got our three candle. I guess technically our three candle is the bottom, but that was also the reversal as well. And then you got the gap up, and then you got the consolidation right below the 20-day EMA. So a lot of these stocks is having trouble getting through the 20-day. The 20-day looks to be around 1810. Looks to be around 1810. So LCID actually went through that yesterday, but they gave it back and finished just below at 1807. So what I'll be looking at with LCID is 20. I'm just not even gonna lie to you. I can't trade this stock below 20. And if you wonder why I say I can't trade this stock below 20, I'll be happy to show you why I can't trade this stock below 20. So again, come over here, grab my trusty line, and I'll put that line right there on $20 even. And look at this thing. Ever since it lost 20, it broke it broke one day. One day it broke, and then every other day is just not been much there as far as to the upside goes. If you caught this at the very bottom, you probably made a couple pennies off that particular day, and maybe this day right here. But it's just not a lot of room between 1870, which I would say is 19. It's not a lot of room between 19 and 20. So I'm not going to tell anybody to get calls at 19, and then you run into this brick wall at 20. Uh, I would get through 20. And then once I got through 20 on LCID, then maybe you could jump into calls right here. LCID is a stock I haven't traded. I used to trade it often. I haven't traded it in a while. And looking at the chart, I'm glad I haven't traded it in a while because there's not a lot of days to make a lot of money here. It's definitely been moving a lot less volatile than what it used to, and not in a good way. So above 20, you can get calls. If this thing was to reverse and a bull trap come, then you will look for puts below 17. So I'm not even going to alert this because I don't want to trade LCID if I'm 100% honest. But below 17 puts could work. Above 20 calls could work. That's what I will be looking at there. Um, no more requests. All right, I'm gonna give out one more myself. I'm going to check out NVIDIA. I'm gonna skip around a little bit and check out NVIDIA because I'm very interested in NVIDIA. And if you are in my 1K to 10K options challenge, you know why I'm interested in NVIDIA. And if you're not in my 1K to 10K options challenge, then definitely hit me up and get yourself in my 1K to 10K options challenge. And it is exactly what the name says. We're going to start out trading with 1K and we're going to grind that thing up to 10K. And we're going to try to be smart about it. We're going to be conservative, but we're going to do it. So that's where we're at right now. So this is NVIDIA's chart. Now this right here is you got the red candle right here. I would love to know one here want to tell me what that 3 candle combo is. I'm not going to answer it yet. I'm gonna give a couple seconds to see if somebody want to type it up. If they don't, then I will answer. But I'm just gonna see if anybody want to name with that 3 candle combo. When you see that, it has one name: that red candle, that doji candle, that green candle. When those three are combined like this on a chart, it has a name. And I want to see if anyone knows the name. It is a pattern combination that is very bullish. And all right, I'm going to name it for y'all because I didn't see anybody type it up. I gave y'all a few seconds trying to make sure y'all caught up because I know it's a little bit of a lag from when I say it to when y'all get it. But I think I gave y'all enough time now. All right, bet. That combination right there, red, doji, green, is called a morning star combination, a morning star pattern. So when you see a stock is trading down, which this is trading down, and then you see a red candle, then you see a doji candle in between, and a doji candle mean you got a line, which is what all the candles are. Then you got a little bit of wick somewhere in the middle. You got a lot of wick at the top and a lot of wick at the bottom. So you see all this wick we got at the top, right? And then you see that little line in the middle. That's the actual candle. And then you see all that candle, all that wick at the bottom. That's a doji. So when you get this red candle, then you get this doji candle, and then you get a green candle right next to it. That three candle pattern is called a morning star pattern. Or that 3 candle combo is called a morning star pattern. Typically, when you see a morning star, it's a very bullish signal that the stock has hit its bottom. So again, we did jump into calls yesterday on the video. I will full disclaimer on that. And that candle opened at 180.74, got as high as 183.71, got as low as 176.83, and it closed at 181.77. So it closed green, but I won't necessarily say towards the top, but it did close green. If you were looking for a Nvidia entry, the entry would have to be above 184. Above 184 would be a chance to enter. Nvidia, the thing is, where it's trading at right here, it's not an area that it traded at a whole lot recently. So it's not a whole lot of resistance down here. If you catch this thing here, not saying it could, I'm not saying it will, but it definitely could punch this 200 area. There's no real recent area of resistance that you would have. You could go back. You could go back. Let me see if I'm. You had to go back to like October. No, that's hold on. You would have to go back even further than October. You have to go back to July to find some areas around 190 where you got some resistance around that 190 area. But that's what I'm saying. There's no near term resistance. So obviously resistance got to be respected wherever it's at. But near term resistance, you put more emphasis on. Um, so with that being said, this thing technically could roll right into 200. Not saying it will, but it definitely could. Above 186, above 184, calls could definitely work. If this thing were to reverse below 176, puts could be a thing if we were to look for the reversal here. And I believe we did. I believe we are red this morning, so we'll see how that goes. But those are definitely the numbers you want to look for. 184 for new calls. and 178 for puts. And if you're already in it, then we're gonna ride this thing a little bit and see what happens. 184 and 178. We're gonna set that up right there. Again, guys, this is FinViz. If you don't use FinViz, you definitely should use FinViz. It's a great way to set all types of alerts and all that. Not the three horsemen Reddit D, but next time, you know what? I think you're my tier 3, so I may do a video about what the three horsemen is in my tier 3. So if you hear you not in my tier 3, you definitely should go sign up for my tier 3 channel membership. And this way, you will see this video on what the three horsemen would be. But that was a good guess though, because not a lot of people talk about the three horsemen. Guys, I definitely appreciate y'all checking me out this morning. I hope you learned something. I hope everybody here have a green day today. It's your boy, the Options Boss. You can always be a boss with the Options Boss, y'all. I'm a holler when I holler.